Hey guys, what's up? My name is Erin. In this video, we're going to talk about how to manifest a lot of money. How do you manifest the big bucks? All right, here we go. Okay, so this is a fun topic to talk about. I like this one. I like all my topics that I talk about, if I'm honest. But anyways, okay, so when you're trying to manifest a lot of money, like let's say you're trying to win the big prize in the lottery. Okay, and that's like what you're wanting to manifest. You want to have just a bunch of money given to you, and you don't want to work, and you don't want to do certain things. Like you want it this way. So let's dissect this a little bit. Okay, so when we are wanting to manifest the lottery or have a lot of money just given to us, there is resistance there. Okay, we see it as like this big deal, and there's so many paradigms and beliefs around just being handed a bunch of money that when we participate in wanting to manifest something like that, then we become a part of all of the collective thoughts around it, all of the beliefs around it. And what that looks like is like it's a lot, it's a big deal. There's no way that you could possibly ever win it. There's a lot of resistance around winning the lottery, and that's the truth. So yes, we can do the shadow work around it, and we can make it seem like it's natural for us to win the lottery. It's natural for us to have a lot of money. But here's what I have to say about manifesting winning the lottery. You're limiting yourself, okay? What you're wanting to do is you're wanting to anchor in the experience of having a lot of money. You're wanting to hold a scene in your mind that would indicate that you have the money already, and you're wanting to be able to feel vibrationally that you are abundant now. And you're wanting to let go of any attachments of how it's meant to happen. So here's the thing. The universe knows more than we do, okay? There could be a really abundant journey, fun, exciting journey for money to come to you. Abundancy might want to come to you in many different ways. Okay, you might end up having like a big idea and it ending up bringing in a lot of money. Okay, you might end up doing more of what your soul is wanting to experience, and money will just naturally come with that. So first off, when we are attached to how money is going to come to us, then we're blocking how it could actually come to us. Okay, so in order to release resistance, we need to also release resistance around having to work. There's so many blocks around work. Like work just doesn't seem fun. It just seems horrible. Like, oh, I have to work. Ugh. No, like none of it should. You get to live life differently now. Other people get to work, but you don't. You don't work because you know this secret. You know how to manifest. You know how to anchor in what you're wanting to experience. You don't have to work anymore. You get to live life differently. It gets to be easy and effortless, okay? So you get to rewrite what work means for you. Maybe it feels like being retired. Maybe it feels like fun. Maybe it feels like ease. Maybe it feels like being creative and having a creative project. There is something out there that you could potentially love doing that would add so much joy to your life, where money can also come through. So another way of really releasing resistance for the big dollars to come through is to accept and love where you are. When you are resisting where you currently are, then you're fighting, and you're fighting your current reality. And there is polarity. And with polarity, which is like a charged emotion, you are manifesting more of it. So you have to come into neutrality with where you are so that you're not manifesting more of it. Because if you're noticing something, then the universe will bring you more to notice. Okay, so having gratitude, like thank you for everything I have right now. Thank you for my life. Another way of really releasing resistance is to face your fears. Face what scares you the most. Face the worst possible scenario that could happen and clear away all of those emotions. Now, parallel realities or manifested realities are tied with emotions. So when you clear away what scares you the most, that is clearing away that reality from playing out. Then what we do is we anchor in what we do want to experience. And we can start off really general at first. It might just be freedom. It might be clarity. Like, what would it feel like to know what you're meant to do? What would it feel like to feel freedom? What would it feel like to feel joy? What would an abundant scene look like? What would it feel like to actually have a car that works and that drives really nice? Like, would you invite friends to go in your car, and how would that feel? Would you invite people to go into your new house? What would it feel like to actually look for new furniture for your house? And get into that feeling and build a momentum towards what you're wanting. Now, here's the thing. When we stop making it about the how, and we instead make it about the experience, then we let the universe decide the how. And it can be more than what we can actually imagine, because everything is being shaped and shifted, and we don't know everything that's going on. We don't know if there's that person who is ready to be able to, I don't know, like for example, my car got hit, and I felt, I had to drive it around, and I was kind of embarrassed. But I didn't know that I had a family member that had a car that was extra, that they were willing to, they gave it to me. I didn't know that was around the corner, but it was. Like, you don't know who's around the corner. You don't know if there's like that person that's going to walk through your workplace who has an opportunity for you. You don't know if there's that person that's going to come in and activate and inspire ideas within you that are going to be like billion-dollar ideas. Or, like clarity can come in all sorts of different ways. We are all acting as spirit guides for each other. So people can come in and activate and inspire us, and people can come in and open up different opportunities for us that make it seem more possible for us to have what we're wanting. So for example, my friend Barbara, it's actually one of my friends, like it's not Barbara, but one of my friends actually, she was like, oh my gosh, Erin, like it's going to be impossible to actually have an online business. It's going to be so impossible to actually get a following on Instagram because they made it so hard. There's no way that this can actually happen. But she kept believing and manifesting that it was possible. She held the experience she wanted to have. And then someone came in who had like 500,000 followers. They ended up having a deep soul connection. And suddenly she saw it like, oh, it's possible. Like suddenly it seemed natural and easy. Like it felt like there was actually a way. It felt like she was being supported. So just keep building and creating and living that you have the experience that you have already, and eventually a huge shift will happen. Okay, now back a few years ago when I was still living, where I used to live, and I was living a certain way, I wanted to manifest a house. And so I wasn't sure if this would actually happen. I ended up taking actions that helped make it feel more possible. I would walk in these huge mansions with all of these older people who were rich, and I walked with that billion-dollar frequency. I walked with that power that came from within, that I had the money already, and I was actually looking for a house. And because I was participating in something that rich people do, I was able to take in the energy of it. So for example, when you start to take actions that the version of you would take who has the money already, then you start anchoring in more of that reality into your current experience. You start to become that version of you. So, talking about parallel realities, there is a version of you that exists right now who is rich. Okay, there's a version of you that's also poor. Now you get to choose which version of you want to be based off your beliefs and your vibration and the experience that you're wanting to have. The more that you can live right now that you are this billionaire, the more that you'll start to shift and become that version of you. Now here's the thing. Some of us on a soul level might not want to be rich or a billionaire, okay? It might be a different way that abundance comes to you. So by doing the inner work and by clearing away who we're not, and by coming more into our soul's desires and coming into our heart and asking our heart, like, what is it that I'm wanting to experience? And we're able to flow with our higher self and with our soul, we're able to have that mind and soul connection, then things actually happen a lot greater, like a lot better. Things flow faster. So it might not be authentic or something that your soul wants to experience. Now, here's another thing. You might, on a soul level, like you might have been rich in a past life. This is getting a little esoteric. Bear in mind, keep listening. I'm going to, meet those who aren't here yet in what I'm going to say next. But let's say in a past life you were rich and you perhaps did it from ego, like it was all service to self, it wasn't about service to others. And so in this lifetime, in order to have the money, it might need to be from the right place, from the right frequency, from your heart and not your ego. So it might be from like, oh, I want to help people. I want it to be from a giving energy. I'm going to be in the integrity of my heart while I have the money. Okay, like everything is just here for us. So what's in the way is the way. So what's blocking you from having money is the way. It's what you need to look at, because once we look at it and we clear it, then flow can happen. Okay, so these are some pretty good topics that I've talked about. I hope that they're helping. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel and comment any questions or ideas that you might have below. I love hearing from you. Keep listening. We're gonna go over a little bit more, so stay till the end. Okay, so another thing I wanted to add is sometimes when we have resistance around money, it's okay to be able to resolve that resistance by perhaps getting a job or finding something that can help you to feel more safe when it comes to money. Usually we feel resistance because we feel like we're not moving forward and we feel like we're in limbo. So a way of really resolving this is maybe create channels for multiple streams of income to come to you. You know, maybe it's creating an Etsy store, or maybe it's creating a YouTube, or maybe it's starting a life coach business and just taking that next step towards what feels more like your path and your purpose, service to others. So if you're wanting to win the big prize in the lottery, or you're wanting to just be handed money, maybe also take forward steps in other areas of your life too, so that you have a backup. Now, this helps you vibrationally. This isn't saying like, oh, I don't want to have the money. Like, you can have multiple ways for money to come to you, including winning the big prize in the lottery, including having money handed to you, or finding money, or whatever. But it's good to continue to move forward because you're building and growing a positive relationship with money. And in the end, it's so smart to have multiple channels for money to come to you, okay? And it can happen in an abundant and creative way. So, you know, if you're waiting around for a big check to be handed to you, there might be a lot of resistance around that because you might have fears around money already. Now, let's say you have a job already, or you have income coming in already, then that should, then you probably don't have as many attachments or a tightness of overimportance for this money to come to you. Let's say you have multiple streams for money to come to you. Then there's less of like putting overimportance on towards this one way for money to come to you. Okay, so we have to decrease importance and attachment and desperation energy. Okay, you can find small other ways to be able to decrease that energy, and you can also do the shadow work and inner work to be able to decrease the polarity, the importance, the desperation. But anyways, I hope that you guys like this video. Sending you so much love and light. I hope you have an amazing week. Thank you.